It's time for Let's Talk with Tara. Tara is a counseling coach who addresses real issues that plague many women today. Issues like church hurt, disappointment, anxiety, depression, and many more. You will be inspired, educated, and empowered of how to receive the help and healing needed to move forward. If you have real issues, then Tara has real solutions. Let's talk with Tara.
Hi, you guys. How are you? It is Midday with Tara, and I am so excited to be on today, coming to share with you live. This is my podcast, actually. So I know some of you guys are seeing me live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, but this is actually my podcast, and I just want to invite you all to go and listen to some of the previous podcasts. I've had a podcast for a few years now. You can go to, you can hear my podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Spreaker, and even iHeartRadio. Just look for Let's Talk Tara. That's my handle on all my social media outlets and podcasts. Let's Talk Tara. You can find me there. For you guys that know me, you know that Midday with Tara was my signature for a while, and I kind of got away from it on Facebook. But like I said, the podcast is up and it's running and it's been there. So there are some podcasts that you can always go and listen to. But let's go ahead and get right into it today. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for your support. I am Tara Tankley Stallings. I am a counseling life coach. I am a minister of the gospel. I am a woman. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm a person that has overcome a lot of things in their lives, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. And I'm here to share some information and some wisdom with you. My purpose for my podcast, my purpose for sharing with you is always to educate, empower, and inspire you. To educate, empower, and inspire you. So let's get right into it, because these podcasts are so short. It's only 30 minutes, but I want to give you enough education, empowerment, and inspiration to take you throughout the day, to take you throughout the week. So let's get into it. If you're looking at today's podcast, it's life lessons, and it's part one. It's the life lessons. Now, that's coming from my book. A lot of you guys know I am an author. Ladies, Let's Talk: Life, Lies, Love, and Relationships. So, and the reason I want to come from that today, because I share a lot of information. One thing I've noticed in life is life teaches us in every day. Every day I learn something. If I'm aware of looking to learn, life teaches us every day. And life is about lessons. We all have our own path to travel. We all do. Sometimes that path is rocky. Sometimes it's has tree limbs in it. Sometimes the path has even holes in the road, as we would say. Sometimes it's kind of hilly. But guess what? Needless to say, we all have a road to travel in life. It's just part of our life. Sometimes in that road, that terrain is very rough. It can be very rough sometimes. But guess what? We still have to travel it, because one thing I've learned about traveling on your road in your life is for your purpose. It's so that you can learn the lessons and not get stuck in the lessons, because I want to talk about that a little bit. Sometimes we have lessons and we never learn, and we get stuck in a cycle that was not meant for us to be stuck in, and we never get to our intended goals in life. We never get to the end of that path. We never get to our destiny. We get to a destiny, but not our purposeful, meantful, predestined purpose. So one thing I've learned in this, when in life lessons is this: we can easily adjust to the mindsets, the standards, and the principles of those around us. We easily adjust. And the reason I say we easily adjust, because when you're going through some rocky times, we tend to stay away from anything that's going to cause us pain, shame, or discomfort. So we'll tend to adjust. We will adjust to the circumstances and the principles and the mindsets of those around us. But I'm here to tell you this. I'm here to share this with you. Don't. Just don't. Set your own standards. Set your own goals, your own level. You know, a lot of times I've heard in life, your goals, your mindsets, your standards are too high. Your standards are never too high if they are attainable. Let me say that. If you can attain them, because we all have expectations. If you can attain those goals, those minds, those expectations, and they are in reason, because I want to make sure I say that, make sure they are in reason, they're from a good balanced place, then don't drop your standards, don't drop your goals, don't drop your expectations for those around you that don't want to rise up to yours. Because it's people that are intended to rise to the expectations that you have. But so often, because we don't see those people when we are looking for them or when we are expecting them, we tend to drop our standards to conform to somebody else's standards and then we use the excuse, oh, that's just the way life is, or I had to settle for it. You know, I'd rather be happy and settle for less than have those around me reach for the standard that you expect. And we use the word I'd rather be happy when we're really not happy. What happens is you're really not happy. You just become comfortable. You've accepted it. And you don't have to accept mediocrity in life, because we all are created for greatness. We all are created to be successful in our own right. So let's talk about it. One thing I've learned, and I mostly talk to women. Don't get me wrong. This conversation is for men and women, but my competency, my purpose is for hurting women, for the mindsets of women that has been placed on them through family, culture, society, religion, and themselves, and music. Excuse me. Stop comparing yourselves to others. We as women, we compare ourselves to others, whether it's physically, whether it's your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your education. We always tend to seem to compare ourselves to others. And let me tell you something. You are extravagant in all your ways. You are exceptional in all your ways, good, bad, or indifferent. That's what makes you you. Be okay with who you are, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, because that's what makes you who you are. Now, you should be always in a mindset to improve who you are. Always improve. And I'm always in a mindset to make Tara better. better in my health, better in my relationship with God, better in my wisdom, better in my knowledge, better in my love walk, better in my speech, better in educating myself. I'm always constantly doing that. But I'm okay with who I am and where I am now. I'm good with me. I don't compare myself to others. I always say this, I'm country. Yes, I am. I'm a Southern girl, but I'm country. And when I started, and I'm going to share this right here before I go on. When I started speaking publicly, I'm still a little scared, to be honest with you. I don't like to speak publicly, as much as I run my mouth. I don't like to be on camera, and I don't like to speak publicly because, when I get excited, let me tell y'all something. I will, just like Merriam-Webster has their own definitions and stuff. I got my own. I got the Tara Stallings definition dictionary. Also, I create my own words with my own meanings. So I will. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that. That's what makes me who I am. Sometimes I, stumble over words. That's who I am. But I used to beat myself up because I was trying to compare myself to somebody else. And that's them in their own right. Don't get me wrong. I try to improve and slow down because I know when I get excited, I start talking fast. But that's who I am. And I don't make excuses for it. And you shouldn't make excuses for who you are. Yes, when you present, you want to present the best that you can. But you want to present the best that you can in your authentic self, in who you are, I always have a story to tell. Well, let's keep going because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about it, and 30 minutes go by so fast. And this is my podcast. Listen. Everyone does not want to see you succeed. Let me just say that. That was a hard lesson for me. This is a life lesson, you guys. Everyone in your life, your friend, your babe, your boo, your dog, your homie, your bestest, your BFF, does not want to see you succeed. They just don't. For whatever reason they're dealing with, they just don't. People will stand in your face and they will cheer you on, but privately, they're jealous of you. They don't like you. They just tolerate you. And let me tell you something. That was a hard lesson for me to learn and to get over because of my personality. And that's something we'll talk about later on. Personality types, life lessons and personalities. Because of my personality, when I give from my heart. When I love hard. I love strong. I give. I want to see the best in a person. And I'm passionate about, and you can hear it in my voice, I'm passionate about what I'm passionate about. And it grieves me when I see things that can be detrimental physically, emotionally, spiritually to those people that I love or those things that I love. So a hard lesson for me was to realize that people in my life didn't always want to see me succeed. It's not that they were saying, oh, I hope they fail. No, some of them were saying that, but it's not that they say that, but it's that inward, I call them leeches. People will use you or use you for what they need you for, or they will be around you for the convenience of whatever emotion, time, loneliness that you meet for them. But when they find somebody else, they move on. And a lot of these people will pour their hearts out to you. But inwardly, they tolerate you. They don't celebrate you. Let me say that. They tolerate you, but they don't celebrate you. And you don't have to be around people that tolerate you, because there's so many people in this world that love you and celebrate you for who you are, your right, your wrongs, your indifference, your personality defects, and your personality, your great personality traits. It's so many people that's there for you. You don't have to settle. I've learned this in life. Life lesson. Some people come in your life and they're not there to be placed for a lifetime. I learned this. People come in your life for 3 reasons. A reason, a season, or a lifetime. A reason, a season, or a lifetime. And so often we want to make people permanent fixtures in our life, and they were never meant to be permanent fixtures in your life. They were there for a reason, a season, but then you have those people that are placed there for a lifetime. And what happens is this: when you leave people there that were only supposed to be there for a reason, and that reason may be, oh, well, you had a flat tire. And Joe Blow showed up at the right time to change your tire. Because Joe Blow was so nice. He was your type. Tall, dark, handsome, smooth. Had a nice job. All that good things that you like. You brought him in your life when he was for a lifetime or for a season that caused turmoil in your life. When only reason Joe Blow showed up in your life was to change your tire. You weren't supposed to give Joe Blow your telephone number. And for my Christian sisters, you weren't supposed to hear his issues and try to solve his problems, because you are not God. You are not God, and that's a lesson that I had to learn. That's not your job. You should have let Joe Blow change your tire, said thank you, and let him go head on. That's what you should have did. And then we bring people in our lives, and they cause turmoil or cause cycles to be created in our lives that are not wanted. Let's keep moving. Remember this: what a person will do to hurt or criticize you, they will end to criticize somebody else. What a person would do to hurt or criticize somebody else, when they get angry with you, they're going to do the same thing. You know, it used to be a saying, if a dog bring a bone, he'll take one. That's, y'all know I'm a little country. If he'll bring a bone, he'll take one. So if a person would do it to you, when they get angry with you, if a person would do it with you, when they get angry with you, they're going to do that same thing to you. I'm trying to see my comments. All right. Yes. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. People aren't perfect. No, they are not perfect. I'm trying to keep up with my time, you guys. People are not perfect. Hurt people hurt people. We heard that all our lives. Hurt people hurt people. But let me tell you something. Sometimes those hurt people, they don't even realize that they are hurting themselves, more or less hurting you. Let me say that again. When people are hurt people hurt people. But most of the time, those people don't even know that they are hurting. They have become numb to their own pain. And they don't realize that their actions are hurting you. They don't realize that their actions are hurting you. And then it causes you to have these emotional and psychological issues or cycles that we create. And this person is going on, they're going on, and you're like stuck over here in this cycle, like, these people have hurt me. And they act like nothing's going on, because to them, they don't. A lot of times they don't even realize it. Nobody is perfect. People are not perfect. The only perfect person is the dead person. Those people in the graveyards, in the cemeteries, they are perfect people. You know why they're perfect? Because they are not around to do anything wrong. They are not around to do anything wrong. So we have to give leeway, just like we want grace. Just like we want grace, we got to give grace. And it's hard. Life lesson. We got about 10 minutes. Life lesson. One life lesson that I had to learn, let me tell you something, guys. The hardest people to have grace with, the hardest people to forgive, and to look past their faults are those that you love the most. Your family members, your husband, your wife, your children, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin that you know that stick closer to you than a sister, than a brother. Those people are the hardest people to give grace to, because we have expectations from those people. We have expectations from those people, and we say things like, they should know better. Listen, that was one. They should know better. They should know better. Who said they should know better? Who told you that lie? Who said that they should know better? How do you know that they should know better? Because you said something or they heard it? You don't know. See, a lot of times, let me tell you what I had to learn. We never know the full backstory of a person. We know what we think, we know what we perceive, and we know what they tell us. We don't know the full backstory of why they are, why they behave the way they behave, why they act the way they act, why they say what they say. We don't know why they do what they do. We don't know that because we don't know their full backstory. We don't know their pain. We don't know the issues that plague them day in and day not and day out. We don't know those things. And when they do things and when they say things that are hurtful to us, emotionally, behaviorally, physically, we're like, how could you do that? How could you say that? Because we don't know their story, and people are not perfect. I often say this. Everything matters in your life. Why do I say that? Everything matters. Life has so much to teach us if we are willing to learn. See, we have been dummied down, and I'm going to say dummied down, desensitized to the reality of what's real. I'm going to say it like that. The reality of what's real. Because we look in society, we listen to music, we look at church, we look at people, we look at television, we look at movies, we look at all this stuff, and we see all of this stuff, media and everything, and we take that as the real reality. We even have reality shows, and I'm going to thank you. I'm going to use the reality shows as a great example. You know, we have all of these reality shows that are quote unquote reality, but it's scripted. Well, guess what? The reality that you're in, that you see, that you think this is real life, it's scripted to keep you in a cycle of disillusion so that you won't get to the real reality of what's going on. What you talking about? It's always something spiritual behind something that you see that's manifested, that's real. There's always. But our biggest enemy is unbelief. We don't believe anything. We believe our friends, our dogs, they've been our friends all our life. We believe our moms, we believe all these people. But when the truth come up, I don't know about that. I don't know. When the proof is always in the pudding. Let me tell you what I had. Life lesson. Your friend that's been your friend all your life. That's a reliable, I'm talking from life lessons. That's a reliable resource. They're not reliable. Let me tell you that. Your friend, your boo, your bae, your dog, your homie, your BFF, that's a reliable source. Ain't always reliable. You know why they're not always reliable? Because they're giving you their reality through their perception of what they've gone through. It may not be for you. And you miss out on what you need to have because you're going on this reliable source. There is nobody that's reliable except the word of God. And now y'all know I'm going to have to go there because this is what I talk about. Life is nobody that's reliable except God. And he works through people. And a lot of times, those people that he works through, they may not have been in your life 10 or 15 years. They may not be your BFF. They may be in your life for a reason or a season for you to get to your next level. And you dismiss or you miss what you need from that person or persons because, oh, I don't know, I don't really know them like that. True story. God sent someone in my life. Matter of fact, it's been over 20 years now. And I got about 4 minutes. Over 20 years ago. This is when I started my journey in walking with God. It's been a rough road too. I had a lot of character building that he had to work with Tara with. A lot of character building. True story though. And I'm talking about people. I'm talking about people, life lessons. God sent someone in my life to help me grow spiritually. Well, before I actually knew this, because I didn't know this person. I didn't know this person. I met them through somebody else. Until I realized who they were, why they were sent for me. And I thank you, God, for loving me so much, for sending me this person. Well, this same person that God sent to me to help me grow spiritually, one of my BFFs at that time, a reliable source, had been telling me about this person that, it's this person. And I'm just going to stay close to my church. And honey, they be in there speaking in all them tongues. And I think they a demon. And they always pretending like they passing out under the power of God. And I mean, all kind of stuff. And I'm like fascinated because, I came from a little Baptist church. So I ain't know nothing about those speaking in tongues. I ain't know nobody about falling out the power of God. Baptist church, you don't do nothing. You just sin and think you going to heaven. That's what the Baptist church do, basically. So live like you want to live and think you're going to make it through them gates. Not. Anyway, so when I realized the person God had sent in my life to help me, because I had cried out to him, Lord, I need help. I don't understand. When I showed up at church, my friends, BFF's church, with this person, they were like, oh my gosh, that's the person that I was talking about. That's demon possessed and this and this and this. And I'm like, huh? This person? Now, mind you, my walk with God was real shallow at the time, but I knew enough that no, that person wasn't who you talked about. And they tried to convince me of this. And if I would have listened to my BFF, I would have missed out on God, because see, we think, because people have, and I'm just using the church because that's what I am. Church lingo, and they talk about give you a scripture too, and God this and God that, and they sound a little deeper than you are. Honey, boo baby, sugar, pie, honey bun means nothing, because language is nothing. Character is everything. If their character don't reflect God, I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. So we have to be very mindful. We have to be very careful when we see people, because let me tell you what happened. Let me share. My time is almost up here. Everything matters, because I was talking about everything matters. Everything that you do, it matters in your life, because listen, I mean everything. Even what I'm doing now, it matters. So we cannot dismiss the things that we learn, the people that we meet, the lessons that we learn in life, the pain, the shame, the hurt. We can't dismiss any of that, because everything that you do from the time you get up from the time you go to bed, it matters, and it creates an atmosphere, a lifestyle for you whether you want it or you don't. You know, we used to say, hey, be careful what you say. Your word, well, if you're in the church, that's what we say. Your words, you got to be careful the words that you speak. Yes, you do. Even out of anger. Even when you tired, because your words, especially when you mad, those passionate words, they create things in your life. They create cycles in your life. So everything that you do, it matters. You know, when you go get that drink of gin, oh, I'm gonna take me a shot. Let me tell you something about taking those shots. That's why when you go to the liquor store, and I don't know how I got on that, but I'm gonna talk about it. Let me tell you, everything matters. When you go to the liquor store, it says beer, wine, and spirits. It's okay, everything matters. The reason it says beer, wine, and spirits, those are three different entities. You got beer, you have wine, and you have spirits. And when you start drinking that liquor, guess what? You open yourself up to those spirits. Period. You know, I know we've heard, you know, God, no, you ain't gonna go to hell for drinking a glass of wine. He said wine. Jesus turned water into wine. He ain't drink it though. He didn't drink it. Now the people around him might drink, but didn't say he drank it. But a little wine in moderation is not gonna hurt you, because it physically, mentally, medically, it's good for your belly. It says it's good for your stomach, but it ain't tell you to be a wino. It didn't tell you to go drink that beer, and it didn't tell you to go and drink those spirits. Because you know, when I was growing up, gin make you sing. Gin make you sing. Spirits. You guys, my time is almost up. Listen. Let me tell you something. Life lessons. This is part one, because I'm gonna keep talking about it, because I want to. You know, I'm country, so I want to walk this dog. I want to make sure you get this thing. I want to make sure you understand that, guess what? In life, lessons are created for you to learn from them. You know, a lot of times we have lessons and we feel like we became a failure. Well, guess what? You didn't fail. It was just a lesson. Learn from it. What did you learn from it? I always say, what did I learn from this? If I'm frustrated, if I'm mad, if I felt like I didn't accomplish stuff, what did I learn from this? What did I learn from it? What was I supposed to learn from it? So the next time around, because it's always a next time around. It's always a next time around. What are you going to learn from the life lesson? Life teaches you. Life teaches you in every aspect. That's from the people that you come around, the people that you come in contact with, the things that you do, what you listen to. So be mindful of the things that you say, the music you listen to, the television shows that you watch, the time that you waste in your time. Make every minute purposeful, because everything matters and everything is a life lesson, whether you understand it totally or not. This has been Let's Talk with Tara, and this is my podcast, you guys. If you haven't listened to my other podcasts, you can find me on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker.com, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and it's another one I can't remember right now, but it's enough. You can find me on all of them at Let's Talk Tara. Let's Talk Tara. I have been talking from my book. Let me see if I can get it. Ladies, Let's Talk Life, Lies, Love, and Relationship. This is the revised version from the section Life Lessons. You can always, I am a professional counselor, certified life coach, and minister. For those that are interested in my services, in my books, you can go to TaraTStallinsinc.com and schedule a free 30-minute call session, or you can order my books, one of two, or products from that website, or you can go to Amazon.com and purchase my books. Until next Monday, this has been Midday with Tara. I thank you guys. If you're viewing this or listening to this on social media, make sure you share and like. Thank you guys. Until next time.